Welcome everyone. I bet if you clicked on this video, you might have been thinking lately, am I burnt out? Is this normal stress? Should I be concerned? Is something wrong with me? Everyone else seems to have it figured out. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place because I'm going to help you answer those questions today. My name is Marissa McCool, also known as the Public Health Burnout Coach, and I am a burnout expert. I can tell you if you're burnt out and where you fall on the burnout spectrum. Did you know there was a spectrum? There is. I find so many people come to me and they say, oh, I'm not burnt out. But they don't realize burnout is a spectrum. So you can be burnt out now, even though it feels and looks very different than maybe when you were burnt out a few years ago. And this is actually a good thing because if burnout is a spectrum, it means that you can move through that spectrum. You can move out of it completely. And in this quiz I created, not only do you understand what type of burnout you're experiencing, but how to get out of that type of burnout. So in today's video, I'm going to go through the questions in the quiz, what the different parts of the burnout spectrum are so you can figure out which one you've fallen on, and how to get out of it. If that sounds good to you, let's just dive right in. So here's why I created this quiz, and I'm actually so excited about it. We've already had a bunch of people take it. I think, almost 2,000 people have visited the quiz, which is wild, and it's only been out for, I think, a month or 6 weeks at this point. But the reason I created it, so in my coaching program, the women who come through my coaching program do an assessment. They do it at the beginning, middle, and end so we can track their progress. And it's about 16 questions. And last year, some of you watching this might have participated in the Overwhelm Solution Challenge. I did a live Overwhelm Solution Challenge where we did kind of a partial part of that assessment. And we actually have posted that challenge here on YouTube. So if you want to go back and do it and you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. But we included 4 of the questions from that assessment. And I always get people asking, hey, do you have the full assessment available? Can I take the full assessment? And at the time it wasn't. And I kept getting that question asked so many times. And what I realized is a lot of people are wondering if they're burnt out, are wondering if they should be worried about their stress or if this is normal, because we don't really talk about it in public health. And so I decided, okay, let me see if I can share this out. And we turned it into a quiz, which is really exciting. So you can go through and take the quiz and answer the questions. And we're going to go over the questions today to see where you fall in the burnout spectrum and what you can do about it if you are in burnout. The other reason I created this quiz is because I think there's 2 really great uses for you. Number 1, it can feel overwhelming to try to start to work on your stress because you might even be aware of some of the things that need to change, right? You might be able to say, okay, I know I'm not good at setting boundaries and I know I'm not good at taking vacation and I never take my lunch and I'm really lost in my emails and I'm working late. And you might have awareness around all of that and then be like, this feels like a lot to change. I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start. So the great thing about this quiz is depending on where you score, it will tell you exactly where to start. It's going to give you 1 or 2 things to specifically focus on that I have learned through my years of coaching women in public health are the best places to prioritize and start. So you don't have to start working on addressing boundaries if that is actually not the best use of your time and energy, and maybe instead working on actually just taking your lunch is the best starting place for you. So it's really much more pinpointed to where you need to start, which makes it less overwhelming, means you can get started sooner and you can start seeing results, which is ultimately what we want, right? For you to start feeling less stressed. The other really cool use about it is, so in our coaching program, if you were to come through it, you take the full assessment, which is 16 questions, at the beginning, middle, and end so you can track your progress. And so as we're in the coaching sessions, we can tweak what we're working on. Well, you can replicate that now with the quiz yourself. So the quiz is 10 questions. We consolidated it a little bit because 16 is a lot for a quiz, but it still covers all the areas. And you can take it now and you can see where you score and you can see what's recommended. You can start to implement the recommendations and even in a month, take it again and see if anything shifted. Even if your total score hasn't shifted, because it kind of calculates based on weights and all that stuff, you can notice as you're answering the questions if it's shifted. So this actually happens in my coaching program all the time. So one of the questions is about drinking water. How much water are you drinking? Do you take breaks to drink water? That kind of thing. And I've had women come through my program and they take the assessment at the beginning. And in our first coaching session, they go, oh my gosh, I did not realize how much I was neglecting drinking water. This quiz, well, I guess it's an assessment for them. This question, this assessment really helped me name that. And now I have so much awareness about it. So I've already started drinking more water. And then they take it 3 months later and even if their total score hasn't shifted a lot, which actually it always does, but let's just say hypothetically it doesn't, they can say, oh my gosh, I know that I'm drinking more water because last time I wrote I never drink water and this time I wrote sometimes. So you can track it individually that way for your individual behaviors, and you can track it for the overall score. So if you take it now and let's say you score in the danger zone, which is the kind of, you're in burnout, you're in full burnout, it's the highest score you can get, and you take it in 3 months after you've been working on changing some of this, and you see, oh, I've got down to what I call on the edge, right? You're like out of burnout, you're not fully out of it, but you've stepped out of the danger zone. So you can track. So it's a really, really great tool you can use as you move to get out of stress. Now, can anyone take this quiz? Absolutely. If you're here and you're like, I'm an engineer, or I work in tech, or I'm a teacher, and you want to take this quiz, you absolutely can. It is designed for people in public health because that's who I work with. I've worked in public health my whole career. I coach women in public health. So what I've done and what I've seen over time as I coach hundreds and hundreds of women are the common behaviors and the common things that are creating burnout. And so I've included those in the quiz. So they're the most common things that maybe if you're doing them, experiencing them, that you're going to be in burnout or on the burnout spectrum. Now, if you're a teacher, if you're an engineer, can you take this and still get value? Absolutely. But if you're in public health, it's going to be especially valuable because it's so specific to your experience in the job and what the things are that you're struggling with and that are contributing to stress. So it's not generic. It's not some advice that's really designed for men. It's designed for women and it's designed for people in public health. So it's really going to help you pinpoint where you're struggling and what you can do about it. Okay, so let's talk about what are the 4 categories, the 4 points on the spectrum that you could fall into when you take this quiz. The first one I shared, which is you're fully in burnout, is what I call the danger zone. You're like in burnout completely. And you might not realize it. It might have become normalized for you. It might just be your normal way of being and living. And so you don't really realize that it is burnout. And maybe everyone around you is also in this zone. It even makes it harder to identify that you're in it, which is why this quiz is so valuable and so important. If you fall in this category, I don't want you to freak out because as you know, being in public health, in order to change behavior, in order to change our outcomes, we first have to have awareness. This is like basic behavioral science in public health when you took your behavioral science health education class in grad school. So we need that awareness. So taking this quiz, knowing you fall in the danger zone is that awareness. The next step is, okay, what do I do about it? And when you take the quiz, it will send you the one specific recommendation of where to start and how to implement, and you can start doing that. And I will tell you all the time, the women in my program, many of them, if not all of them, come in and they score in the danger zone. And by 3 months, they're already out of it. And by 6 months into a year, they are getting completely into the safe zone, which I'll tell you about in a second. So don't be discouraged by it. Use it as a tool, as a direction, as a guide to get out of that zone. The next zone I call is on the edge. So I want you to imagine you're like on a cliff and you're right on the edge, right? You're teetering. There's still some stability, but you're teetering and you get that drop in your stomach, right? And it's kind of like, oh, I'm about to be in danger. That's what this is. So you're on the edge of burnout, but you're not quite there yet. And we can do something to make sure you don't fall into burnout. And by burnout, I should say the danger zone of burnout. This is all part of the burnout spectrum. So you might be very highly functioning here, but it's costing you, right? You're overwhelmed. You're probably seeing some health things happen, whether it's sleep or not working out as much or not prioritizing relationships. Like it's starting to really chip away. And at this point, we want to reverse those effects. So then you can get out of the edge and get to the next zone, which I call walking the path. Walking the path is you're not in full-fledged burnout, you're not on the edge, but you are experiencing overwhelm and stress. And if you don't do something, you will get there. So we're walking the path towards full-on burnout. And what we want to do is like we see the yield sign, we see the yellow, what's it called? Light. Stoplight. Oh my gosh. The yellow light, the yellow stoplight, right? And we want to listen to those signals and we want to get off this path to a different path. And so again, you're going to get some recommendations of how to do that. Then the last zone is the safe zone. This is a place where you're not experiencing burnout at all. Maybe there's temporary stress here or there, acute stress. That's part of life. That's normal, but you're not stuck in chronic stress. And this is where we want to stay. So if you score here, yay for you. And also you want to reinforce the behaviors you're doing now so you continue to stay here. If you don't score in the safe zone, you can get there. Everyone who comes through my program moves towards and gets to the safe zone. That's the beauty of building this awareness and knowing where you fall, is you can set a direction to go towards a safe zone and get there. So let's talk through the questions that are in this quiz so you can know what kind of we're measuring around. And I'm going to pull up my list because, as I said, our assessment in the program is 16. We pulled it down to 10. So I want to make sure I tell you the right ones. So the assessment, the original assessment in my coaching program, we ask questions around workload. We ask questions around your experience at work. We ask questions around the impact of work stress, and we ask questions around rest. And within those categories, there's a number of questions. So what we wanted to do with this quiz is make sure we're cutting across all those areas and really capturing those factors. So when you take the quiz, here are the questions you're going to be asked. And you can even think about your answers now as you do this, just to build some awareness. How often do you feel stressed because you have too much to do and not enough time? How often do you wake up feeling anxious or dreading work? How often do you put off filling up your water to keep working? How often do you feel frustrated or angry with the people you work with? How often do you feel irritable or reactive with the people in your personal life? How often do you struggle to prioritize your health because of work, whether it's nutrition or working out? How often do you struggle to prioritize relationships because of work, whether it's friends or partners or kids? How often do you struggle to rest or take time off? How often do you feel guilty when you try to rest or take time off? How often do you still feel stressed or tired even after taking breaks or time off? So those are the questions you'll go through. And as I said them to you, you might have been thinking in your head and recognizing, oh yeah, I really struggle with that. Oh, I do that a lot. Oh, I didn't even think about that might be contributing to my stress. And so when you take this quiz, you'll answer all those questions, and then based on the weight of them, you'll get a result of which category you fall into. And then you'll get an email with the recommended strategy you should start implementing. It's going to be very simple, I promise. It's going to be a very simple solution you can do right away and start implementing. Some of them we tell you, hey, based on your score, you really need to start prioritizing water. Some of them it's like, hey, top priority for you is eating lunch. Others, it's, hey, your top priority is really starting to set boundaries. Like that really needs to happen. You're going to get the most out of that if you start there. So it's very personalized to you and your score. If you want to take it, we've linked the quiz below. Of course, it's totally free. It's really just a tool we created to help people understand where they fall on the burnout spectrum and what they can do about it. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember. No matter where you fall on the spectrum, even if you fall in the danger zone, you can get out of it. I see this all the time. I coach women every single day who are doing the work to get out of their burnout zone and to get into the safe zone. And they do it. Literally, I just have 3 clients just last week who are wrapping up after a year of coaching with me, and they're completely out of the burnout zone. They're in the safe zone. And what's so beautiful about when you get to that place, which I love, is they're like, wow, I have so much more time and energy because I'm not stressed about work. I'm not working late. I'm not overworking. And now, where do I want to put that time and energy? I want to go all in on my personal goals. I want to work out more. I want to lose weight. I want to get this promotion. And it's so beautiful because it opens up so much in your life. But you got to get out of that burnout zone first. So you got to identify where you are and then get the strategies and implement them to get out of it, which we give you in this quiz. And then once you get out of it, man, it opens up so much. You feel relief, you feel calm, you feel in control of your day and your workload. You're not tired, you're not stressed, you have energy, and you actually have time to spend with your loved ones, to prioritize your nutrition, to achieve your goals, to do hobbies. And you get back connected to really living a fulfilled life. So I really hope you consider taking it. I think it's such a useful tool. Again, we've already had almost 2,000 people come to this quiz, which just shows you how effective this is and how helpful it is. So if you're interested, click below, check it out. And if you have questions or comments, always drop them in the comments section, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.